From my review to internationally trained engineers' experience and applications, I found that it is important that they understand the main mandate for Professional Engineers Ontario and the professional engineering practice. Professional Engineers Ontario main mandate really focused into protecting the public safety. They issue license to qualified individuals, and they also regulate the profession. The engineering practice itself includes anything related to designing, composing, evaluating, directing, supervising, reporting, where engineering analysis and engineering application is required, concerning the safeguard of the public health, public welfare, public properties, etc. I find that personally meeting the licensure requirement while searching for jobs and having work demands, commitments towards their own families is one of the most hurdles that they have to face and the challenges they have to put up with. To meet licensure requirement, one must have a good character and have equivalency to what we call Canadian Engineering Accreditation degree. And then also one has to pass an exam called Professional Practice Exam. It includes law and ethics, which helps person to understand obligation and rights towards colleagues, superiors, society, etc. And then the one has also to have an acceptable and verifiable experience, which means that the person has to provide us with referees from the workplaces that they had experience in, had their application of theory and practical experience. And there's 5 quality-based criteria. We measure their experience with it. The length of the experience has to be at least 48 months, and in which we require at least 12 months to be gained in Canadian jurisdiction under supervision of a professional engineer. It is important that the person who graduated from an engineering program to seek opportunities where they apply the engineering fundamentals they learned from school. And that is actually one mandatory requirement for obtaining acceptable experience. As well, it is important for people, engineering experience is the same everywhere in the world, but it's the working environment that is different and the applicable codes, standards, and regulations. So getting familiar with the Canadian codes and standard and regulation would help the person to perform better in their job as a professional engineer. Also, it is important to be aware of the industry market and keep up to date and enhance and improve the communication skills, because that's the tool that a person transfer his or her ideas to the public. Some of the tips that I like to share with our international trained engineers, that they actually could have their admission fees waived if they manage to apply online within the first 6 months of their arrival. Also, there is a program that Professional Engineers Ontario offers them, which is called Engineer in Training Program. I found this program is very beneficial for them, and I encourage all of them to join that program because it is a licensure assistant program. It gives them an idea through working seminars what is required for acceptable experience, how to be well prepared for passing successfully professional practice exams. It helps them also to increase their networking because they could join Ontario Society for Professional Engineers, and they could join chapter events, and that would give them better opportunities in finding the job that they're looking for. There is also the provisional license that we can issue for all the international trained engineers who are qualified, who met all Professional Engineers Ontario requirement, academic requirement and experience requirement. They pass successfully the professional practice exam, and the only thing that they are still missing is the 12 months Canadian experience. Now, having that license still will require from them that they work under the supervision of a professional engineer for an additional 12 months. It helps them into their job hunting to have a reference and to have such a license. I would advise them to seek opportunities where they can apply engineering fundamentals into the work activities that they are engaged in. I would advise them also to get familiar with the applicable codes, standards, or regulation that is related to their work activities. Enhance their communication skills, because that is the tool that helps them to understand their requirement of their clients and deliver their suggestions with upgrading or modification or troubleshooting certain problems. Also, I would ask them to focus on the social implication of what could go positive or negative with their projects. That's the core of the practice of acceptable engineering experience. Also, to have a contact information of their referees, because we require at least 3 referees for the engineering experience gained in Canada. One of them has to be their supervisor, and the other one is a professional engineer, and one at their own choices. I would like to advise the international trained engineers to log on our website and get some more information about the licensure process in Ontario.